and they're already gone while Comet still has his ultimate. So a non-equipped Alistair is better than Björna for GR1, guys. What's up guys, Ronaldo here and welcome to this Alistair showcase. So I've been testing him ever since I got him intensively. I've been testing different gear, different content where you can use him and everything. And I gotta admit, I'm pleasantly surprised he's a lot stronger than expected. And also, this is important for you guys, I will show you guys, the damage calculation on Alistair is bugged. And because the damage calculation is bugged, I'm not sure if the damage calculation on the guild boss will be bugged as well, if the block calculation will be bugged as well. And I'm also gonna contact the devs about it. I just found it out right before I made this video. And I will also show you guys all of the content that I believe he's quite viable, such as the guild boss, for example, or Voidrift. He's super good as well. I will showcase you guys, wow, creme de la creme. And also in GR1 he is actually really strong, and this is where I found out that his damage calculation at the end of the fight is wrong calculated. It's not calculated properly. And then I also want to showcase you guys how you want to gear him, his benefits of his gearing and everything. So yeah, first up, I want to go over his potential, because even though I'm already surprised, there's even a lot more potential to get through him. And for that we got to take a look at his skills first. So each attack on the same target increases attack speed by 30, stacking up to 5 times. The effect lasts for 5 seconds. When reaching full stacks, each basic attack deals 1 extra true damage equal to 80% of his attack. So basically, you really want to have Alistair having an attack interval for 1 second. Now 1.1 seconds will be enough, because for 1.1 seconds these 30 attack increases that he gets stacking up, they will push him under the 1 second, or to the 1 second that is needed for him to attack 5 times within 5 seconds. So he gets this passive true damage, extra true damage activated. This is really important and really strong. Then this is already strong. Then you have his ultimate, and this inflicts 3 stacks of radiant erosion on up to 10 enemies in range and increases the hero's attack by 30%, lasting for 12 seconds. Now this ultimate is also really good. At first I was like, why would he have an ultimate for multiple enemies when he's a single target unit? But that radiant erosion damage is so high that it is extremely strong for GR1. He is super potent for GR1, and he will deal a lot of damage just because of that. And this to up to 10 enemies, and then on top of that he will get his attack boost. And now the only negative I also have, so there's basically 2 negatives. First of all, it's an AoE ult. Do you really want him to have an AoE ult? I'm not sure, but because the erosion is so strong, it's completely viable. And then also the other thing that is kind of rough is that it's a low cost ultimate with a short duration, right? It's a really short duration, and I really like longer durations, high cost ultimates that get a lot of value. Now there's also a benefit of this though, of course, and that is the low cost ultimate will have really good synergy with the Soulbound Arcana as well, and the low cost ultimate will have good synergy for him in AoE content because of the radiant erosion being there for 10 seconds. Whereas for single target content you would prefer a higher cost ultimate that gives him, let's say, a 20-second boost or something, right? Because if you look at someone like Silitu, 35 seconds, right? She's a god. Then also Silas, 20 seconds, right? And he at max gets 15. But because of the low cost, it is versatile. He's really versatile, not single target and AoE. He is really versatile. Then his attack is 85%, it's okay. Then when reaching full talent stacks, if the target is inflicted with 3 stacks of Radiant Erosion, basic attack has a 30% chance to deal 1 extra 180% damage. I will come back to this. So basically, after you maxed out this talent and have 3 Radiant Erosion on, basically just during his ultimate, you will have a high chance of getting a lot of extra damage as well. Then you have this damage reduction of 15%. It can go up to 30% damage reduction, which is also quite nice, especially for the Voidrift. You will see the insane damage reduction he does for the Voidrift. Then he has the attack range increased in Arena. Now in Arena, I tried him. He's not bad. He's definitely not bad. And my main issue for Arena with him is that he has a high cost, but he can definitely be played there. Now, why did I want to come back to this? Is because his Awakening one. I'm trying to get 2 of his fusions, but I'm pretty sure it's not possible anymore. And that is, when reaching full talent stacks, each basic attack has a 15% chance of inflicting 1 stack of Radiant Erosion. So basically a 15% chance every second, because he has a 1 second interval. So every second, 15% chance of getting that stack. And as you of course want to attack quickly, it is quite easy because he has a really low attack interval of 2 seconds, a base interval of 2 seconds. So even with his old age, Alistair is still able to attack quickly. Well, it's quite impressive for his age. Then for the gear, he benefits from the 2 best gear pieces, gear sets a lot, which is amazing. So on one hand, he benefits a lot from the Infernal Roar set, right? The Infernal Roar set will benefit his attacking a lot, especially against the guild boss. He will get a lot out of the Infernal Roar because he will deal a lot of damage with it, 30% basic attack damage increase. And also he will also profit a lot from the Soulbound Arcana because his ultimate is such a low cost ultimate. So you can really run a Soulbound Arcana on him as well. Then in terms of stat prioritization, like I said before, you want a bunch of attack, crit rate and crit damage, and also quite a lot of attack speed, so you can really get your attack speed down, so he can make sure use of his 80% true damage out of each second for his talent. When his talent is maxed, you really want that attack speed to be somewhere around there. Then in terms of artifact, Tear of Twilight is gonna be your best bet. Now first up, I want to show you guys how insanely viable Alistair is for Gear 1 and how strong he is for Gear 1. So what we're gonna do here is swap his gear with Cerberus, and we're gonna equip him with 0 gear, guys. We're gonna equip him without gear, without a Lord bonus whatsoever, and see in stage 21 how good he actually is, Because let's take a look here and let's place him down, and we will just take a look at how much damage he does. Now we wait for everyone to come in for him to pop his ultimate. And yeah, you guys might think I'm crazy here without gear, but he doesn't need it. He doesn't need any gear. He doesn't need a Dolores attack buff, nothing. And as you can see, 105,000 per Radiant Erosion tick. And there's 10 ticks of this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ticks of Radiant Erosion for 100k, 105k damage on 10 enemies. That's so strong. He basically gets all of them already in execute range for Vierna on his own, without gear. But the crazy part is, guys, if we take a look here now, and this is also a reason why people might be sleeping on Alistair, is because his damage is bugged. As you can see, it shows only 160k because it doesn't calculate the Radiant Erosion somehow, And this is a bit of a problem because maybe it also doesn't count the blood on the guild boss as well, the radiant erosion, and overall the damage of him it calculates wrong. I'm doing a numbers game at the moment in the background, trying to figure everything out about this bug, how it works on guild boss. A video is going to come out soon as well. But as you can see, he did 10 million damage burst with his ultimate, yeah? With his ultimate, 10 million damage burst with his ultimate without any gear, And we can compare this to a Vierna here. So if we go and take a look at how well he performs compared to Vierna, right? So we pop in GR1-21. So now we can compare him to a Vierna. Let's see how much damage he does compared to Vierna. He did 10 million damage of burst damage without gear, without the Dolores buff whatsoever. Let's see how much damage Vierna and Comet do, right? And spoilers alert, one of them is getting styled on, that's for sure. So we pop our ult, and we just get everyone low for Vierna to scoop them up. So Vierna scoops them up. There we go. Gets true damage on many people, and there we go. These last two guys are still alive, and let's see the burst damage that these guys did. Just on a quick try. So Comet 15 million, Vierna 4 million, Vierna 4 million, Comet 15 million. And now we're gonna try Vierna out, Alistair in, but this time we use Comet and Alistair without the Dolores, without any gear, and let's see who's better, a geared up Vierna or a Alistair without gear. Let's see. We place down our Comet, and now we have our lineup pretty much ready to go. We wait for the mobs to come in. Pop our Comet, wait for them to all be in range for him, and we use his ultimate as well. And let's see. So before there were 2 mobs left over when we were using a Vierna, and they're already gone while Comet still has his ultimate. So a non-equipped Alistair is better than Vierna for GR1, guys. And again, as you can see here, proving again that his damage is showcased wrong. His damage is showcased wrong, but he deals a lot more damage. And on top of it, the radiant erosion is also wrong, because there is 10 ticks of radiant erosion and not 5. Because if we go and take a look at his skills, radiant erosion every 2 seconds, it should tick. Over 10 seconds, that's 5 ticks, but it ticks every second according to my tests, and therefore he deals a lot of damage, and he's super good for GR1. Super good for GR1. Abuse him. He's so good. And now my concern is actually that what happens in guild boss, really? What happens in guild boss? Now, in guild boss, since the damage calculation is already showed wrong in the gear aid, does the damage that he shows that is going to be showcased here, right? Does that damage really add up to the damage he actually did? Or is it the wrong number that they're going to showcase, right? And on top of that, if it's the wrong number, if it's the wrong calculation they give us through this true damage that he deals, extra true damage, does that wrong calculation also apply to the blood score of the guild boss, right? So if that true damage isn't counted in the end effect, does that true damage also not count for the blood? Yeah? That could also be really important for us to know, and I'm gonna talk to the devs to this, and also you guys, if you can, point this out, because it's really interesting. It's really interesting to me to see this bug. But now you already saw really how strong he is, right? You saw he is so good. He's so good. He is so good for gear rate 1. And I want to showcase you guys how good he is for Nightmare Voidrift. So for the new Nightmare Voidrift, it's quite difficult, but you can actually make it work with someone like an Alistair, And I'm gonna showcase you guys my strat real quick and how you can actually, how he can help you a lot with these mages that one-shot everything. He helps you so tremendously with them. Also, since I already cleared this Nightmare Voidrift, I'm gonna make a quick guide for you guys following soon. Because it's difficult, but once you know how to deal with these mages, it's getting a lot easier. There's basically 3 ways to deal with this Nightmare Voidrift, and for one of these waves, Alistair is by far the strongest option to deal with these mages, these adjudicators. So we gotta place our healer down, not that we forget. Okay, and then we will place our mage down. Now you already have a little bit of a guide here for the Voidrift. Basically this is how we do it. And this adjudicator keeps healing himself, which is a bit annoying. It's fine, because he won't have the damage to get rid of everyone. Now we place a tank in front of him. And we use his ultimate. And now you see the adjudicator deals a lot less damage already because of how much less damage he does because of Alistair. And even though these adjudicators have so much, magic resist, Alistair doesn't care because of his true damage. The main damage is going to come through his true damage here, and he can easily take care of these guys, right? Easily. And then you can just play it like this. This is one way to deal with the adjudicators. Now you, in this quick showcase, Voidrift showcase, you're gonna see the 2 ways already. So basically one way will be a tank with a slow mage with just some random DPS taking care of him, the adjudicator. But best bet of course will be having a Silas who just rinses everyone, or having a what's his name called? Cetrum. But here you can see he doesn't deal a lot of damage, and he just gets wiped out by Alistair. He just slowly gets wiped out by Alistair. So I'm not gonna pop the Silas ultimate, otherwise we will win it, because I still have a guide to do. But you can see how potent Alistair is with actually dealing with these guys, right? He easily clears them up, even though he's a mage. So in the Voidrift he is quite valuable as well. And here I have another clip for you guys where you can see Alistair being used in basically the hardest stage of the new Nightmare Voidrift, and actually being able to deal with this side spawn on this level better than Hex is able to deal with his side spawn, as you can see. So Alistair just takes this guy out without this guy even getting in range to my tank. Now, I thought Hex is gonna perform better than Alistair, so I used my tank on top side instead of bottom side, and now you will see Hex on the bottom side without now the infernal buff, because now it's chaos buff, right? Hex is not able to get rid of this tanky guy, whereas Alistair was able to get rid of him on his own. And as you can see, Hex, he just didn't manage to do it with his ult, and now Hex needs Silas to help him out, which is quite impressive to me, not gonna lie. But now I think let's get into the piece of content you guys expected him to be good at first the most, and let's see how good he does in Guild Boss. And we don't just want to use him in Guild Boss, we want to use him to his fullest potential, which is why luckily I have Leia, so we can really use him in a meta comp, and this is perfectly where he fits in because Leia is used in these guild boss comps anyway, so he has the benefit of having a good lord on himself. So let's see his full potential now. Alright, now we are running here a rage region comp. We're running this pieces on him, and let's see how well he does. So we want to have a guaranteed invic buff on him, so we place him first. Now we place Silitu here, guys, because we want her to be in the range of the rage region as well. For the guys wondering, why is Silitu there? Now you know. Pop Silitu. Pop her. Pop the ults. And get them ults back already. Radiant erosion is going. Get our Leia back. Pop our Zeptrum. Or the shield. Get our Silitu ready. Get the resistance reduction for everyone, and get the regen in again. And everyone's up already again. There we go, just pop everything. Spectrum will have his ultimate back in a second anyways, so we can use it because of the rage region comp that we're running here. So another meteorite strike, right? But before the next shield, we will have our girl here up again. And we can just pop this. Pop this. Pop these ultimates real quick for the shield. There we go. As you can see here for the guild boss, the short duration of Alistair's ult is a bit annoying because yeah, he's just so quickly out. He's just so quickly out of it. And now use her ult. Wait for these ultimates to be ready. Now we take her out. There we go. Get some more rage region going. Pop this. There we go. Get rid of the shield. Take her out, take her in, take her out, get rid of all our ults back. There we go. Got her ult back as well. Let's see how much damage our Alistair does. Sorry, I'm quite focused because the rage region comp takes quite a bit of attention. Okay, now before we place Leon, we will place down our Laurel. There we go. There we go. Okay. And I think that's pretty much good to go. Let's see how much damage we did with Alistair and how much damage in comparison to everyone else. So Alistair 50 million damage. Now Silas 90 million damage. Silas has the best gear out of them. Now Alistair 50 million damage is not bad. It's decent. And it's around the damage that my Hex is dealing, a bit less than my Hex. And I'm also gotta check how much Nocturne does, and I'm gonna make a DPS showdown between these three coming up as well. But yeah, here's Alistair's damage against the guild boss. It's not too shabby at all, especially since he has still a lot of potential. Okay, wow. Okay, actually guys, I did another run here and we got to 60 million damage, over 60 million damage with Alistair. And this is the same gear that I had with Hex on, and Hex did less damage. This is the same gear I had on Hex, and Alistair did more damage than Hex. This wasn't the Infernal Roar like the last test, it was the Soulbound Arcana, because I have my best set on Soulbound Arcana. This is the gear I have here for that 60 million damage early interruption on Alistair. And wow, he actually did more. He performed really well. Even here. And according to that 60 million damage, I guess he's probably gonna be have the right damage calculation for guild boss, maybe just not for the gear raid. I'm not sure. And if that 60 million damage is only without his true damage, that would be insane. But I expect it to be with the Radiant Erosion. I expect the damage calculation to be here properly, unlike in the gear raid. But if it's not, then his damage would be even higher, and the block count should go higher as well. And also, if you will get his A1, he's gonna get even stronger. But yeah, that's Alistair for you guys. Guild boss, gear raid 1, Voidrift. Wow. I really had low expectations on him because of what I heard from other people about him, but now I tested him so intensively, and he's really good. I can't complain. Also really good for the late game against high resistances due to his true damage, against high damage output due to his damage reduction. Really good. I'm pleasantly surprised. If you like this types of videos, I do all kind of Watcher of Realm content. Just subscribe, and you will have increased luck at your summons. Other than that, I'm Ronaldo, and I'm out. Peace.